terrifying killing strength. Even such a powerful being like the King Kong Fury Ape was cleanly cut in two by the parting wind slash. It seemed he had been looking down on the technique. In reality, Long Chen was still unaware that not all Earth-class battle skills could launch ranged attack. On the contrary, most battle skills worked by being applied on top of weapons. It was only by chance that the 3-style parting wind was a battle skill that used the body's wind attribute energy to release sword chi that could be used for ranged attacks. Such battle skills were actually quite rare. It also required that the martial artist have wind attribute spiritual chi in order to train in it. It wasn't like ordinary Earth-class battle skills that were attributeless that only required spiritual chi to be injected into the weapon. Although such techniques were rare, it also had its own flaws. The main one was that those without the wind attribute spiritual chi in their body were unable to use it. As for Long Chen, he was just a beginner to the cultivation world and didn't know what this attribute meant. Just a careless test had allowed him to successfully train in it, but he had no idea about why he could use it. If such a situation was known by Xia Qingfeng, wouldn't he be angered enough to die a second time? Long Chen was interrupted from his thoughts by Little Snow running up to the King Kong Fury Ape's corpse. He actually started to wildly tear at its flesh. The King Kong Fury Ape's physical body was extremely powerful and tough. Yet, Little Snow was still able to tear off a piece of its flesh for himself. But chewing it was extremely strenuous. Little Snow seemed to be similar to Wild in that meat was the source of their strength and could allow them to get stronger. As soon as either of them saw meat, they had to eat it. Long Chen took out a knife and cut off a few pieces for Little Snow. But Little Snow ignored that, focusing completely on tearing the King Kong Fury Ape's thigh muscles. Long Chen helplessly cut a few strips of that part off. This corpse was to be offered to the forest divinity, but Long Chen presumed that a gentle woman like her wouldn't be so stingy as to bicker about a bit of flesh. Little Snow had traveled hundreds of miles for him. Who knew just how much he had suffered? If he didn't let that little fellow eat his full, Long Chen would feel even more guilty. Once the little fellow had eaten his full and his stomach was bulging out, he finally stopped and Long Chen tidied up the corpse, preparing to drag it along. That was because its corpse was too big and was unable to fit in the spatial